what, you know, like I said, and some groups have more than 3, because 3 just wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Or they get down to it and they have to add a criteria, but I want you to make sure you understand and start with a criteria. Time, money, influence, participate, something on those ranges. Capiche?
So, all this thing was the lack of diversity in business leadership, correct? That's what we proposed?
Yeah.
And how are we going to solve it? So, what are some of the criteria that we have to consider?
I think one of them would probably be religion.
Religion normally goes with culture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go with the culture. Employees.
Yeah, just religion, yeah, because I have
Or the employees, right?
Employees
Oh,
or team
employees, of
members,
course.
yes. I think that's one of the most important criteria that we should consider when it comes to like the lack of diversity.
All right, what about in relation to management?
Time.
Because we are talking about leadership here, so.
Yeah, I think time frame would be pretty important because, I mean, it's not a quick process to integrate leadership positions.
What about social acceptance?
Yeah,
That's,
like me, I have one criteria that goes with socials and religion. Yeah.
and rules and laws. I have something on rules and laws. Like that's I think the only criteria that is written there, and that will deal with government,
Yeah.
and then state is it state government apparatus, they will have to come in, and then what about the responsibility part? That also goes with government, is it? Or that all goes only with the management?
Yeah, I mean, it does because,
For both?
yeah.
My responsibility to go with communication, like I said, how they need to how they need to communicate.
Yeah, the communication is important for a leader.
Yeah. So can it go like under responsibility, oversight, and management?
Yeah, and again, these are just, like, you can go any direction, these are just examples.
Yeah.
So I have one criteria that's not there, which is I think is really important, and I would say gender. Right? I think we could all agree.
I think agenda could be under social
On the
acceptance.
social acceptance, yeah.
Yeah, because I also have
I
something.
think that I also have something on that. In fact,
Gender.
a lot of my solution was on gender, gender and ethnic diversity. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I'm in good company because now I'm breathing. Because when I saw those things, I said,
Not
"What?"
all of them were written. We have some more here.
Right, remember, you're looking at solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
What makes your
we've done.
solutions good?
Good. All right.
So what I'm hearing from you is time frame. So is your solution good because it won't take long? So do we eliminate solutions that will take too long?
Yes.
When we're, you know what I mean? So in like what's too long and like what's unacceptable, so is it acceptable for this solution to be implemented over a 5-year period?
I think so,
Okay?
yeah.
Or is the solution you're proposing something that would take decades?
Okay.
I believe that when we are making laws and rules, definitely has to go through the political process and through government, And so with government and the political process, sometimes it takes a little bit long.
Right.
If
So
it's-
is that so if you're going for laws and rules and time frame, are you willing to make it, I mean, is it a good solution if it takes 5 years?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
in the final analysis, everybody is going to benefit from that.
For
Or
the
at
next
least-
generation.
Yeah.
Right.
Or-
So for you guys, then time is probably not a criteria because you
Yeah.
don't care how long it
No.
takes. So time is not going to be a criteria, okay? But
Laws and rules.
laws and rules and can it get passed is probably a criteria, right? Because if you're going to propose things that are going to become laws, they have to be able to be implemented. And if one of you proposes something and you all look at it and go, that's not happening, right? That gets eliminated. So laws and rules is probably one.
And what about social acceptability?
And the socially acceptable would,
Like the
Very
gender.
Is that
Yeah.
what went with the gender?
I think yes, we said we choose that
Yeah,
that would be
all
gender and yeah.
All right, so
Within
we have two over there.
so it has to be gender friendly,
Friend of rep, yeah.
okay?
And
And
what about
then,
Religion too.
religion.
Yeah.
okay, gender and religiously
Culture.
acceptable,
Alright.
okay, culturally acceptable, right?
And then what about responsibility and oversight?
Like who would be responsible, or what about buy-in? Are you going to get, if you implement this stuff in the business world, are you going to get buy-in from the business world?
I think
And
so.
what kind of buy-in are you getting it from?
I mean,
I
you
believe
get
so, I
buy-in
think.
from the consumers because when you implement new leadership style, it brings new ideas to the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
Okay.
true.
So your solutions really do need to be able, you do need to select things that are going to get good buy-in
That's right.
from the consumer.
What
Okay.
about, what if it's realistic? I think it should be realistic, right? Before.
Yeah. That's what I should be, yeah. Very
And then we have the responsibility and oversight and management. And that should be,
good. So we decided to choose religion.
Or cultural, did you decide? It has to be
Cultural.
culturally acceptable,
Cultural
Yes.
acceptable,
right?
and laws and rules.
Culturally acceptable. Has to be able to be realistic for laws or rules, right? And then, what else did you say? Buy-in from everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine.
So if it doesn't, if none of these things can be accomplished by your solution, it's not a good solution.
Oh, and social acceptable.
Social acceptability.
I think that was the term, yeah.
Okay, so those are your four. Start looking at your solutions, figure out how you want to share them.
So the solutions.
You're gonna take turns, you're gonna do 5 at a time.
You can all take do one
One, okay.
and then go.
Yeah.
Then I'll suggest, lack of diversity initiatives from the CEO and management. So I think employees must receive backing of the diversity initiative from the CEO and management. That comes under, is it rules and laws?
Yeah,
So-
management laws. Rules and laws.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that would go on.
That's one of my solutions. Yeah. So since we are talking about diversity,
Mhm.
and especially gender too, because I think we'll come back to the gender, then these initiatives, management and the CEOs of the companies must be fully on board, and then must make laws that will either empower or include, women and ethnic minorities
Yeah.
in the company.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, one I have under social, I have one under, social, stroke religious acceptance. For doing research, I also find that, different religions or different culture, they have their own different taboo and how to do things. So people varies the way they do things, or how they process or they perceive things around them.
I have something similar. Would it be like accept different cultures and different point of views
Yes.
from the team members, like the
Yes.
like for me, I wrote the candidates who have different perspectives, like because of their different cultures.
Yeah.
So the leader should be able to accept,
Yes.
Or must
It's
include
must
these-
include
some
the
of these
culture, the
aspects.
religious.
Because now we are talking about
yeah.
all inclusiveness, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter whichever,
Religions,
whichever
race,
religion or whichever race is dominant,
Mhm.
we have to take into account these religious and cultural diversities.
Yeah, and I wrote down that for the company, for business, I think it's important that human resources approach that too, because when an employee has a problem and they complain about it with human resources, and sometimes they don't want to fix it because either of the culture, either of the race,
Yeah.
So I wrote that as one of my solutions.
Yeah, and under that, I also say that, so sometimes when we meet people with different diversity, or company or manager, they meet people with different diversity, they need to be tolerant and show compassion, because since people process or perceive things around them differently, so if they might do things differently, to them it's a sign of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we put that, or instead to be stereotype, like sometimes we stereotype about some particular culture or religion.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we just be compassionate and tolerant to say,
And understanding
yes,
too.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I
yeah.
think if company they do that, they accept diversity, it will really boost their production and
Yeah,
efficiency
and that will
of the
definitely
company.
go with the cultural accept criteria. So we have
So
that one. Good. So-
what about the gender issue? Because I said that, I think.
For me, I have one solution for the gender.
Mhm.
So I said that it's really important to have visibility in women, mostly, because they need to be equally given the opportunity to become a leader too, you know, in business, especially in business. Like I have a